So today I'm going to talk to you about how you can decarbonize your freight emissions. So when you look at the world today, 15% of global emissions comes from transportation. And a lot of studies are saying that if we don't change the way we're living, the way we're working, the way we're doing business, this can go up to 60% by 2025. That is a very large number that we should do something about. So you have this on the one hand, but on the other hand, you have an industry like the shipping industry that lacks incentives and really policy to drive change and to really create a shift in this industry. But don't worry, we believe that business can be used as a force for good and to really change this. And we think that it can make the change and in this way make sure that not only profit, but also purpose can go hand in hand to drive forward this industry, but also your own business. So a little bit of who we are. When you look at those two pictures on the left, you see pictures from GoodFuels, our sister company, and they're the physical biofuel supplier. So we have our beautiful branded bio bunker barge that actually goes to these ships and puts the fuel in the ships. Because with shipping, the ship doesn't go to you, you go to the ship. So that's really great when you're a ship owner. But what if you are, I think like most of us, a cargo owner? You own your own cargo, you move it from A to B, but you don't own the ship, you don't own the fuel, but you do want to have a decarbonization solution, you do want to ship it right. Well, that's where we come in from GoodShipping, because that's really our mission. We want to accelerate the transition from fossil to fossil-free transports and to empower the cargo owners to together make this shift, to really change this industry from the inside out. So go from fossil to fossil-free transports. You don't only have to believe me, you can also believe some of our customers. You might recognize BMW. Another fun one I always like is Formula E. So of course you have electric racing, a lot better than racing with fossil fuels, but those cars are going from race to race by boat. So they're being transported from, let's say, Dubai to Amsterdam with fossil fuels. Not any longer. Together with us, we are decarbonizing that and we're making sure that biofuels are used to take care of these emissions. Our very first client was Tony's Chocolonely. People from the Netherlands will definitely know that. Amazing good chocolate, very sustainable brand. I love it. I'm from Belgium, so it's actually big thing that I'm saying this, but it's true. We also might know the bottles from Dopper, or nice things like Dill and Camille. And also the support from clients like IKEA really helped us forwards. Because you can imagine, IKEA has quite some freight emissions going all over the world, so getting a support from a company like that really means a lot. So then you have our clients, but we don't only work with our clients directly, we also work with freight forwarders. Because shippers, cargo owners, freight forwarders are really in the middle, and they also want to drive change and provide sustainable solutions. So DHL Global Forwarding has been one of our partners since the very start, but also DSV, Geodis, now in US, Flexports, they're working together with us. So we are reducing their emissions, but also their clients' emissions. So together we have a broader range, we can reach more people at the same time to really create this shift in the industry. And I also believe, or we also believe, you shouldn't only do it alone. So we have industry partners. For example, our biofuels are sustainable biofuels certified by ISCC and RSB. We also support groups like the Getting to Zero Coalition. Just last week, we were at Smart Freight Week, the conference of Smart Freight Center that is really setting the industries and guidelines, how to calculate emissions like we just discussed. We actually saw a big mile there as well. How to reduce them, what are the industry standards, what are the protocols. We're really working together to set this because it's fairly new. It's not all set in stone yet. So by now you're probably thinking, okay, good story, but how exactly does this work? Well, I'll try to explain it in 3 easy steps. The first one is calculate. So either you already know your emissions from transportation or you calculate them. We can help you with that. Big Mile can clearly help you with that. So it's really important to just know what are your emissions from transportation and how much of them do you want to reduce. Then we will make the connection to the biofuel switch. So we will calculate if you have X amount of tons of CO2, how many liters of biofuel is necessary to reduce this, and we will then bunker this in your name. So we will facilitate a fuel switch from fossil to bio. Now you're probably thinking, but I don't own my ships and I don't own my fuel, so why am I purchasing biofuel? How does this work? So let's take the example of IKEA. If we would go to every single ship that has IKEA goods, this would not be supply chain optimization at all. We would be doing a little bit of biofuel in every single ship. It would be a nightmare. We don't like that. We're supply chain professionals. So what do? Is we take the annual volume and we will bunker this in one go. The idea is really, it's a mass balance, it's one atmosphere, one world, and it just needs to be decarbonized. But it doesn't matter if it's in ship A or in ship B, as long as it's being done. It's actually the same in the cacao industry or in the cotton industry, and also green electricity in your house. So when we've done this biofuel switch, so we've gone from fossil to bio, it's also important that you can actually communicate about this, make sure it's certified. We are actually audited internally by an external auditor, Ernst & Young, but also we help you going through your audits. Make sure everything's done correctly with the data and that you know how many tons of CO2 reduced, how many liters of biofuel, in what ship, in what port. We really try to take you on this journey so you can showcase it to all your colleagues internally, but also externally. Because we strongly believe if you're doing something good, then please inspire others for positive change. And what's been really nice is that the industry has been calling this insetting, whereas you have emissions in one industry, in this example, transportation, and you're also reducing them in the same industry. So you're reducing them directly in transportation, supply chain, and logistics. And then to conclude, I already showed us our mission statement, but I also really like our 4 impact pillars. So the first one is really changing this fuel mix. What I liked when I joined GoodShipping is really you're having this physical effect. These liters of biofuels are actually being bunkered. These ships are ginormous. You really feel the impact that you're having because a lot of people are working together to actually create this biofuel switch. And this actually leads me to the second one, is that we want to create an industry-wide impact. So this is actually an example, Ship to Zero, from a United Nations climate conference, and we did an impact initiative for them last year. So all of these clients here together, they made sure that we could fuel a ship with biofuel going from Rotterdam to Glasgow, which is actually where the COP26 was held last year. Do come talk to us at the booth after. I'll explain it a bit more in detail, but I just want to give you a preview. The third one is really influencing decision makers. So this is actually an image of our office, but this is how it's usually done, right? People in boardrooms, behind closed doors, making important decisions. Well, we want to be a part of that as well. We are in a lot of lobby groups, regulatory groups, Dutch level, Belgian level, EU level, trying to get to the US level, a bit more difficult, but we're doing our best, to really setting rules and regulations and standards. Like, we're not against this. Let's all work together and really create a change. And last but not least, we love development. So this is actually an example of all the biofuels we have actually developed ourselves until now. We have a couple of nice samples by our booth, so come have a look. And we also believe biofuels is a solution right now, but who knows what might come in the future. We just want to create a shift in the industry, go green, let's make an impact in transportation. So thank you so much for listening to me. Me and my fellow colleagues will be at the booth. I can take a question now or just take them all at the booth, and we love to go a bit deeper. Thanks.